Coach, a tough loss for your guys at Jackson State this weekend. If you could just kind of summarize that, and then and this week you host Southern, the SWAC TV game of the week, and if you could talk about the Jaguars a little bit, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Well, first of all, I thought our kids played extremely hard when we went down to Jackson. We played well early on. We go in at halftime, 14-10, them up. 2 touchdowns they got the first half. We had busted coverages where we just got beat deep for no apparent reason other than the guy was, I don't know what he was thinking about, but and you know, the game got out of hand in the third and fourth quarter where we couldn't execute the ball offensively, and basically we continue to have little woes on the defense. And like I said, the score got out of hand. This week we are off the road from a 4-game road trip, and we're at home hosting Southern. I can assure you that the team will be ready. We'll get this game, the Jackson State game, behind us after today's practice, and we'll be ready to play at home for the next 4 weeks against the opponents, and we're glad to be back home.
We'll open it up for questions for head coach Monte Coleman from Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Coach I.T. Morrell, Pine Bluff Commercial. Just talk a little bit more about, the comfortability of being back home against a big-name opponent after 4 weeks on the road. What did the 4 weeks on the road, maybe do for your football team?
Well, I think it built some character in our football team. We had to be around each other. The last 4 weeks we had very long trips. We went to Houston, we went to St. Louis, went to Alabama A&M and Huntsville, and of course come off the road from Jackson State. So we've had 4 long road trips, and it's good to be back home. We enjoy playing here at our stadium. The crowd and our fans enjoy us being at home. We were supported some on the road, depending on how long the trip was. But it's going to be good to be back here at Golden Line Stadium to be able to play in front of our home crowd. So, I think one of the things that we learned, we did come together as a football team, being we won the game or we lost the game on the road. I think we became a stronger football team.
Right. It's not every year that UAPB has Grambling and Southern coming on campus, during the same season. You start off with Southern. And I can't remember the last time UAPB, had that situation. But I mean, just how big is it, just having a team like Southern that, probably will bring a good crowd to Golden Line Stadium?
Well, it's fun. I mean, they're a Western team. They've got a lot of great tradition, a lot of winning tradition. The Grambling game has always been played up in Little Rock, or for the last 5 or 6 years it's been played up in Little Rock as one of the classics. So now it's going to be a home and home, and that's how it's been with Southern, home and home. So, to have the 2 premier teams of the SWAC with a lot of tradition and a lot of winning, to be able to come into our home, I think it's going to be an electrifying crowd, and on both sides. I think both will travel well here to Pine Bluff. So we're excited as a team and just waiting the opportunity to play.
Right. Coach, the game was, going back to the Jackson State game, the game was already out of hand with about a minute to go when Jackson State scored again. And certainly they could have kneeled down on the ball. What were your thoughts about Jackson State continuing to score with their first string when the score was already 41-10?
I don't have any comments on that. I see. No comments.
I got you.
Coach, you and the Jaguars have both kind of been fighting with Prairie View among the top in the West, but it looks like one of those seasons where maybe the West is just kind of as wide open as maybe we've ever seen it.
We talked about this back at our media day of how much parity we have in the league right now, And last year you had a little more parity on the eastern side as far as it's going to boil down to whoever wins the last few games as far as who would win the East. This year that parity is on the west side. You've got Prairie View, you've got us, and you've got Southern, who's in the top three, I believe. And it's a matter who take care of their business here on out. You know, the one good thing about it, we have played one West team, and that was Prairie View, and we do have that victory over them. So we're not sitting bad, even with the two losses the last 2 weeks. Both of those were East teams, and right now we start the West play, with exception to Alabama State. And we just got to make sure that we take care of our business. But our approach up in this year is taking it one game at a time, and that's what we'll continue to do. We're not looking ahead. We're just trying to do well not do well, but win this game here at home against Southern.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, this is Kendrick Moss from HBCU Fan Nation. You guys have lost the last two games after having some momentum the first half of the season. How you try to get that back going into this homestand?
Nothing's really changed. I thought we played well for maybe 3 quarters. Definitely against Alabama A&M, we played well for 3 quarters. Against Jackson State, we played well for 2 quarters, 2.5 quarters. And so we realize where we are. We know that we're no ways out of the hunt for the championship or winning the West. So we'll convey that to the team today. We'll take one game at a time, just like we always have. And we'll continue to play hard, and we'll let the chips fall where they may. But the thing that we're not worried about is what other teams do. We've got to take care of our business, and that's what we'll do here on out the rest of the season.
Coach, even though the score got out of hand a little bit in the second half, you still have to be happy with how Adrian Moore ran the football.
You know, one of the things that we pride ourselves on is having a good run attack, and Adrian Moore and the other backs have produced extremely well in this particular game against Jackson State. I think he finished with either 121, 131 yards rushing. He's very valuable to our football team. He runs the ball extremely well, and he did again in this particular ball game. So even in a losing effort, you know, there are a lot of bright spots
on that road.
I'm sorry.
Oh, really?
I don't know who that is, but there was a lot of bright spots in this particular game against Jackson State.
Is your defense starting to get healthy? I know, obviously Harris missing in the middle makes a big difference, but are you starting to get healthy on that side of the ball?
We are starting to get healthy. Harris did start running a little better last week. I'm hoping that the rest that we let him out this week would maybe, give him the ability to come back and play these home games, this stretch of home games that we have. So it's just a day-by-day or game-by-game deal with him. We are, just like all the teams, have some little boo-boos and stuff. But a lot of the guys have really sucked it up, and they're playing hurt with shoulders, with knees, and all the above. But it's pretty much no different. This is football. It's a physical sport. And, the better teams, they do have to suck it up. Their starters have to suck it up and play. And that's what my guys are doing. So I'm real proud of a whole lot of guys that we do have with our little boo-boos that's coming out and contributing in major fashion for our football team.
And you talked about being a rushing team first, but you still got to give them some more production out of your passing game. Just 12 of 26 last week. I'm sure that being balanced is also important.
We want to be a balanced football team. We have a very young quarterback. He's a redshirt freshman, and he's actually learning. He's got a lot of pressures on him with learning the system and coming in. We play some good football here. There's some very good defenses that we've faced so far. And, he's learning on the run. And he's doing a good job managing the team, and he improves every week. There's no question about he's the right guy for the job, but it's just the process that we're going through with the young quarterback. And as long as he's learning, we'll continue to go with him. But yes, we do want a balanced offense, but it's going to take a little more time.
And then do you talk to your team about the importance of these Western Division games? Obviously, they've got a little bit of double importance because you mentioned like the head-to-head win over Prairie View could come in huge down the line. Another head-to-head win maybe over Southern. The bulk of your schedule now is against the West.
Well, and we've in general talked to them, but I'll talk a lot more specific to them today, even with some charts showing the teams that we're competing with on the West, showing the teams and their schedules, who they have left on their schedule, and of course who we have on our schedule, and just explain to them the importance of us winning the West games, because that's what we're playing for now, is to win our side, the West. And with Prairie View being at number 1 and us being number 2, and we've got the head-to-head victory over Prairie View, we're not sitting bad, and they all know that. These kids are smart. They know the stuff even before we tell them. They go through, they analyze it. But the thing that we want to do as coaches is just continue to reiterate the importance of winning these West games, and how we will stand about winning these West games. So this is a very, very big game for us this week, just like all the others. This other game here at our Golden Line Stadium is going to be a difference maker for us, because by winning that, it's just like you said, we've got the head-to-head against Prairie View, and we'll also have the head-to-head if we win this week against